What motivated me to do this topic was knowing that I had friends who were drug users. I would say a handful of my friends came from broken homes and broken relationships due to drug and alcohol abuse.
What motivated me to research drug abuse for our topic was the increase of drug abuse that I have noticed with coming to college. In high school, there would always be a few people that did drugs or drank, but it wasn't that noticeable. But here in college, many more people admit to doing drugs and drinking. And although many people claim that drinking and drugs are just a part of college and part of the experience, I know that not everybody chooses to do those things. So I wanted to know how people's backgrounds and their families affected their decisions.
I decided to do my project on drug abuse because it's so common in our society. Like, I see people selling drugs on a bus, or it's just a common thing that, well, especially young people do. And it's like, I don't understand the point of it. So I figured doing this project will educate me about it more. Anyone could easily get influenced to participate in drug related activities. Drugs don't target a specific person. Parents, children, and/or other members of the family can be identified as a user.
People may turn to drugs to escape the real world. All drugs cause a temporary change in the brain which gives the user a high, which is a pleasant, relaxing feeling. Stressors that may trigger this need include children, jobs, and money. This can happen because of the emotional, physical, and mental stress that is put on the parent. They may neglect their duties regarding their jobs and the household as well. Another effect on parents is financial stress. Money that is supposed to be their family may go towards drugs or even rehab for the user. Drug abuse can lead to severe birth defects. Some examples are growth stunting, premature birth, brain lesions, and other deformities. Children with family members who abuse drugs and alcohol are 3 times more likely to be abused and 4 times more likely to be neglected, according to mappsd.org.
Grandparents have to step in, and it has become increasingly common in today's society that they are forced to take grandchildren, or child protection can take children away. Grandparents experience financial burdens, depression, anxious, and medical problems. Unfortunately, they sometimes aren't able to care for neither themselves nor their grandchildren.
The entire family has a communication disadvantage when drug activities are present in their home. Family members talk negatively, complain, and criticize each other.
I never wanted to admit that my mom was affected by her sister's alcohol abuse. But as I've grown older, I can see how our communication as a family is poor because of her experiences by trying to keep her sister's alcohol abuse a secret. I can see that my family has issues talking about our feelings, especially when there are conflicts.
Growing up, I experienced denial. I didn't think that I was affected by my grandfather being a cocaine user, but in reality, I was. I no longer cared for him and I didn't communicate with him. Doing this project has made me realize that I shouldn't have been so judgmental because I have no idea what experiences shaped him into the person he is. I should have played my role as a granddaughter.
What I learned about myself is that even though I'm aware of these drugs, I've learned and heard of them, I'm not sure how to approach them. I'm not sure which route to take.
From this project, I have learned that I am very unaware of the full effects of drug abuse. When I think about drug abuse now, I think about the people that it affects and not just the drug user like I used to think before. I've also learned that drug abuse is a daily struggle.
From doing this project, I have realized that I am a very judgmental person and I criticize people if they smoke, if they drink. It is just like I don't really understand the point of why people do certain things that they do. And from doing this project, I have realized that you can't go about life just based off of your assumptions and what you think of people. We really don't know why people do the things they do. You can't make up reasons for it. You just have to try to learn and understand their world.
As a community, we can be very judgmental not only of the people that use drugs but also of their families. We just automatically assume that because somebody has a drug user in their family, that that family is just automatically crazy. Either that or we try to ignore when somebody's family is going through some kind of struggle with drugs and we don't try to reach out and help them very much. We oftentimes also will not bring into account how drug abuse might affect somebody's behavior. So when someone else in the family is acting out, we don't excuse them for it. They're just automatically a bad person.
My community has taught me that drugs and alcohol sometimes is an escape from the other problems they face in their life. And like, for example, they're having problem paying their bills or they're stressed out about their husband, their wife, their kids. And it's just like drugs can be something like a getaway for them, or a drink here and there can turn into a bottle here and there. It's just something to ease their pain, take their mind off whatever they have to face.
What I learned about others is that addiction is a disease. It is a behavior that you can't change overnight. It's a long process. So families who are coping are depressed and left with financial burdens.